Christian picked up the scroll cheerfully. Then he sighed. I've walked the same road 3 times. I might have gone miles by now. Christian continued climbing, and looking up, he could just see the towers of the Palace Beautiful. Perhaps they might put me up for the night, he thought, so he hurried on. But as he got nearer, he could hear through the darkness the roaring of the lions. Christian nearly ran back like Mr. Scared and Mr. Distrust, but Mr. Watchful, the palace porter, saw Christian stop and called, "Don't be scared of the lions. They're on long chains. If you keep to the middle of the path, they won't harm you." So Christian followed the porter's instructions, but he was shaking with fear. How the lions roared and snapped at him. But a minute later, Christian was through and reached the gate unharmed. "Can I stay here tonight?" Christian gasped. "That depends," said Mr. Watchful the porter, looking at him suspiciously. "Who are you and what's your business?" "My name is Christian. I come from the city of destruction and I'm going to the beautiful city." "But why are you so late?" asked Mr. Watchful. "The sun's already set." "I would have been here sooner, but I slept in the shelter on the hill," Christian explained, "and I dropped my scroll there and had to go back for it." "Well, that's a sorry tale," said the porter. "I'll call one of the young ladies who live here. If she likes what you say, she might introduce her sisters. Otherwise, she might not." So Mr. Watchful, the porter, rang the bell, and a beautiful young woman called Mercy appeared. She questioned Christian closely about what had happened on the way, and she smiled as he told her, but he saw there were tears in her eyes. "We have to be very careful who we allow in," she said, "but this house was built for pilgrims, so come in." He followed her into the house and met her sisters. After supper, they all went to bed. Christian slept in a big bedroom with windows that opened towards the morning sun. So, for the moment, he was safe and could rebuild his strength. Next morning, Christian wanted to continue his journey, but the 4 sisters, Love, Hope, Mercy and Joy, wouldn't let him leave until they had shown him around. First they took him to the roof. If it's clear, they said, you can see the mountains of delight. He saw the beautiful wooded sunlit mountains. From the top of those mountains you can even see the gates of the beautiful city, said Mercy. Oh, this cheered him up, but that city was still a long way off. Once more Christian wanted to go, but still they kept him. Are you married? Asked Love. Do you have a family? I have a wife and 4 young children, replied Christian. Then why didn't you bring them with you? She asked. Christian began to weep. I would have done, he said, but they didn't even want me to come on this journey. They all stayed behind. Next, the sisters took him to the cellars, where they fitted him with arms to protect him along the way. First, a helmet and breastplate that could save his life. Then a shield to ward off flaming arrows. Then a trusty sword that could cut through anything. And finally, shoes that would never wear out. So, fully armed, Christian hurried at last to the gate. Have you seen any other pilgrims past? He asked Mr. Watchful. Yes, one man in recent days. Do you know his name? Asked Christian. He told me his name was Mr. Faithful. He comes from the town where I was born, Christian exclaimed. How far ahead do you think he is? By this time he'll be below the hill, answered the porter. Well, porter, goodbye. If I hurry, I may catch him. But he didn't overtake his friend that day.